Hello and welcome back to this European Schoolnet Academy course on games in schools. This is module 3 where we're talking about learning games, games that have been designed for education or for consumers but to improve learning. In this short video of module 3 we're going to be having a look at cognitive games. Cognitive games are designed to improve your cognitive or brain functioning ability. They're sometimes called brain training games. The term brain training was actually made famous by a computer game. The game was called Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training, How Old Is Your Brain? And it was available for the Nintendo DS. It was a huge commercial success for the Nintendo DS, and it also went on to have sister titles, also called Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training, for the Nintendo 3DS, for the Wii U, and as a very popular iPad app. Just like many brain training games that it informed at the time, it was really a set of exercises to improve your attention, your memory recall, and your spatial awareness skills. The example that you can see on the screen now was designed to improve your mental maths. Again, because the focus is on training, you're told to practice at many times of the day, and quite often the virtual assistant would prompt you to practice, and also it would use a certain algorithm so that you could practice things that you weren't that good at. I mentioned Dr. Kawashima for three main reasons. First of all, because it was one of the first games of its time, many of the game features have been copied by other games now, and they are available in a variety of apps, and I'll talk more about these in a minute. Secondly, though, it's about one of the only games where we've actually got a piece of academic evidence from the British Journal of Educational Technology, which looked at the impact of Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training, a commercially available off-the-shelf game, on the improvement of mathematical ability of a group of Scottish children. And the third reason that I mentioned Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training is that it still exists. The latest title was only released last year. This time it's called Dr. Kawashima's Devilish Brain Training, and the real focus now is about attention rather than just cognitive ability. As I mentioned already, there's lots of other brain training games and mathematical games out there on the market. One of the ones for schools that you might like to look at is something which is called Manga Hi. I like Manga Hi partly because there are many games that you can play for free, but partly because it's been developed with academics who are mathematical specialists, but also with games designers. Definitely worth a look as something to explore for your school. As I mentioned though, there literally are hundreds of brain training apps out there. Some of them, I have to say, are better than others. I'm going to talk now about 5 apps that were recommended by the Guardian newspaper as being the most popular in 2016. Here they are. The first app that we're going to look at is something called Peak, or Peak Brain Training. It's one of the slickest brain training apps available. It's got a really polished collection of mini games that have been developed over time, and the subjects include memory, language, mental agility, and of course attention. The next game that was mentioned by The Guardian is a game called Elevate. They pitch it as a really strong rival to Peak Brain Training. It's similarly got very clear visuals and simple accessible mini games to test all of your wits and all of your skills. There are more than 30 mini-games as part of Elevate, and they test your memory, your focus, your maths, your comprehension, and a whole other range of mental skills. Lumosity is a bit of a veteran of the brain training world. It was one of the first apps that was available. At the time, it had lots of unique features, but these have now been copied by many of its rivals. Again, there's a selection of mini-games that are mixed and matched on a daily programme, and there's also an obligatory stat tracking to show how you improve over time, or how you compare to other people that are friends or family. FitBrain's Trainer is a modern addition to the brain training family. It takes a fresh, modern take on brain training for mobile devices. FitBrain's Trainer has more than 35 games that are grouped into different workshop categories. It allows you to practice them on a daily basis, but because there are so many and so many different groups, it kind of stops the activities from feeling stale. Whether you're testing your memory, your concentration, your language, or a whole heap of other skills. Kognito is a new addition to the brain training family. It's probably also the most game-like out of all of the apps that I've mentioned so far. The reason for that is that you play the role of a secret agent and you're going on a global spying mission. And as part of being selective of this spying mission, you have to take part in a number of brain training tests. It's also got a number of serious features that go with it as well, including logical tests, logic tests, and also mini games. Just like all of the other apps, it allows you to track your progress and skills over time. The last app we're going to have a quick look at is Sidhu. Now, this didn't appear on the Guardian's Best Apps of 2016. However, I still think it's a brilliant brain training app. And the great thing about it is there's literally hundreds of Sidhu apps in the App Store. Some of them are free, some of them you pay for, some of them are freemium, and a number of them have got additional functionality. But a really, really great way to get students engaged around mental maths. So that's the end of our short presentation on brain training and cognitive apps. What I really want you to do is to go away and maybe investigate one of the apps that I've mentioned during this short video. Perhaps you could download it onto your phone, onto your tablet, or perhaps you could just play it straight off your desktop computer. Because one of the things we're going to be thinking about at the end of this module is what makes a really, really good mobile app. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video, and don't forget to use the hashtag GamesCourse to bind the conversation together.